What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. My name is Christopher Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here, proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. He is a pastor, also a doctor, also an author of his brand new book that we're definitely going to get into and talk about. His name is Dr. Anthony D Shannon. And he is from Detroit, the 313 Stand Up. And we're going to have a great time talking with this man and talking about his why, talking about what he does, and getting to know him outside of his occupation. So without any further ado, I introduce you the wonderful and the talented Dr. Anthony D Shannon. All right. All right. Still waiting on Dr. Anthony D Shannon. Gonna be coming on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, hello. What's going on, my man? How we doing?
Man. Yeah, little
Yeah.
miscommunication. I had 7 o'clock Central Time, it says. I said, oh, shoot, because I was on at 7, my
Oh,
time.
it's all
But,
good. It is totally all good. Don't even worry about it. That's my fault. No question about that. But listen, we here now, and we
yes,
are
sir.
I'm absolutely grateful to have you on. No doubt about that. How is your week starting off, sir?
Oh, man, rough. Give me 1 second. Let me do one thing so that I can figure out where my. Hold on 1 minute.
You good? And all right. Once again, y'all, welcome back to the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. My name is Chris Drummond, freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here. I am on here with Dr. Pastor Anthony D Shannon. As I told y'all, this brother's from the 313, Detroit's finest. Okay, stand up. And we are going to talk about his why and get to know him outside of his occupation. As I was just asking you, Dr. Shannon, how is your week going so far?
Man, this has been a very busy, productive week. In the
Mm-hmm.
midst of all of the things that you have on your plate, I
Mm-hmm.
remember telling my mentor, my spiritual father, that, man, my plate is full. And he said, don't complain. I said, what am I supposed to do? It's all full. He said, ask for a platter. So now you can put more on it. Okay. So that's what
Ask
I
for a
was
platter.
reminded of this
I
week.
like that.
I said,
I
okay,
like
my plate's full. All right, let me get a platter. All right, to extend it. And that's exactly what I began to do, because I tell people all the time,
it. Mhm.
if changes are going to happen, but if you don't manage the changes, then the changes will manage you.
No question about that. You can say that again. No question. I want to reiterate to you why I wanted to have you on here on the Work Hard Play Harder podcast. Now we've
Yes, sir.
met at Media Row at Superbowl, which
Yes,
was
sir.
one once in a lifetime experience. It was my first time ever going to a Media Row Super Bowl, meeting all kinds of people and wonderful people like yourself,
Yes,
being
sir.
able to just talk to different media, talk to different players, build connections, and just see how that whole experience was from not just there at Media Row, but just the whole town of New Orleans was absolutely crazy. No question
Incredible.
about it. But to be able to talk to you, and we're going to talk about your new book that you just wrote. We're going to
Yes,
talk about
sir.
what you do. We're going to get to know you questions as well, like some of the favorite things that you like to do on your own personal time as well. I call them favorite questions, and I also call them this or that. It's an interactive game that I like to play with my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. But the main thing was that you being a doctor, you being a fraternity brother, you being somebody who's an author, a pastor. I want to know your why into all of that because everybody has a story to tell, and your story is just as special as anyone else's, sir. So that's why I wanted to have you on here, and I'm so thankful that you allocated your time to me to do that. And my first question to you is the same for every guest that I have on here, sir, and that is, what is your why? Why
Wow,
do you do what you do?
that's amazing, man, because when people know what their why is, then they know their purpose.
Mhm.
I tell people that everyone born is born for a purpose. So it is up to you to find your purpose so you can live your life. And when you start living your life, then you can leave a legacy. And
Mm.
my why starts very simple. I kept wondering, why was I the encourager? Why was I the person who would help people, want to help people, and see them overcome things? And then I found out it was about, it was in September, and my mother went into a coma,
Mm.
and she was pregnant. So she was in a coma for about a week and a half. Last week of September, 2 weeks going into October. She comes out of the coma on October the 2nd or 3rd. It was the
Right.
3rd. They, early in the morning, going into the 4th, they did a C-section, an emergency C-section, and of course there was a woman child, female child, pulled the baby out. The baby was stillborn. It was gone. And then, to their surprise, they said, "Oh man, you got another one." So they pulled me out. No pulse, no nothing. But as soon as the air hit me, I started crying. They hit me. They couldn't believe it. And they told my mother that your baby was born dead, but you have another one that was also born dead, but he resurrected as soon as the air hit him. And
Right.
so, because of that, I had no oxygen going to my brain. And so my faculties was not working properly. So they didn't know what was going to happen. They told my mother, "We don't know if this child would live a productive life because of
Mm.
so much oxygen was lost." So I had to learn to find out I had a learning disorder. I had speech impediment, couldn't enunciate, articulate words. Matter of fact, I
Right.
couldn't even speak. So they thought I was mute because I didn't speak. I just grunted, and till I was about 3 to 4 years old before I uttered my first words.
Hmm.
So I went through that all through the 8th grade, and Mrs. Horton um, introduced my mother and myself to a lady named Susan, who was a speech pathologist.
Right.
Miss Horton was beautiful. She was so fine. Everybody wanted her. Talked to her, me and everybody. And when she took interest in me, man, that changed everything for me, boy.
I bet. I
She
bet.
began to speak to me every day, come get me. It was amazing. I tell you that. And Susan changed the course for me. She told my mother and me that um, everyone had the capacity to learn, but everybody had to learn their rate of learning. Once I learned my rate of learning,
Hmm.
man, it's been on ever since. Not only has it been on, I've been able to conquer things, and now that's my signature message. That is my why. My why is, I believe in miracles still today, and here's why.
Absolutely.
And
No,
I
that's really
believe that anybody can overcome the obstacles, the challenges, no matter what cards have been dealt with them. And that's
hmm
what I do. I teach them that they can overcome. This is why I'm big on limiting mindsets, limiting thought patterns, and I go to tackle it and help people tackle it in their lives and let them know too, you can overcome. Yes, you can.
I love that, baby. I love that. No, that's great. Why? Great why, doctor. It really is. I want to follow that up by asking you about your college experience. Going to college, was you set on just one school, or was there a plethora of schools that you kind of toured and tried out before you chose the school that you went to? You're also a fraternity brother as well. So tell me about that college experience and joining that fraternity. Was it destined that you would join a fraternity, or did you just kind of stumble upon that?
When it comes to the college life, all I wanted to do was get out of Detroit, was living on the east side. I had played sports and ran track. I did everything
Okay.
that my coaches was telling me we could do so that I could become all city, all state, honorable mention of all American. And so we had several schools sending us letters and asking us to come check the school out, which I did, many of them. I got on a bus to many of them because I didn't have a car. And
Mm-hmm.
I went to a lot of these schools. I chose the University of Michigan. I went to their football, and I was able to come up where they bring all the freshmen in for the, I guess it's called Hell Week still, up in
Mm-hmm.
college. And so this is
Okay.
where they determine if you're going to get what scholarship, even though they've offered you, if it's going to be more or less or whatever. Can you even make the squad? Are they going to red shirt you?
Mm-hmm.
So I went there, all accepted, everything's good. And for some reason, those guys were huge, big, and they were a little bit dirty, you understand, that I
I
had
feel it. I
anticipated.
feel it.
So I went to Coach Kidd at the time and I said, is it possible that I could be redshirted? He said, what you want to do that for? And I said,
Right.
well, I know that I'm good. I said, but I think I need just another year
Some more
to work
seasoning.
on my strength and blah, blah, blah. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, no problem. And he said, but you still got to work through the stuff. I did. And then a coach was there from Eastern Kentucky University. And somehow I got to speaking with him. I told him they were going to redshirt me. He said, well, if you don't play at all or go here, you don't have to be redshirted. But if you're going to stay here and play, then you have to be redshirted, right? So that you
Right.
can have another year, eligible year. So I
Right.
transferred to Eastern Kentucky University, which was the Ohio Valley Conference in
Right.
football. In track, they was in the NCAA, so they ran with everybody. But in football, it was, I don't know, it was just the right size for me. The players was the right size, and I could
Okay.
excel.
Okay.
You understand? And so
Okay.
I was throwing down. It was great. It was a great fun. Eastern Kentucky's up in Richmond, and they were bringing in the Divine Nine, and they had the Kappas, they had the Qs, they had the Sigmas. They didn't have the Alphas at the time, but the Alphas was trying to get on board. And so me and some other cats was a line that was trying to get to cross over.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of going through all that we went through, unfortunately, they had some issues and challenges
Right.
where they had to shut it down. Right. So our line, and because of the guy, some of the stuff that he did, they just paused it, held it
Mm.
up so that, for the Alpha Phi Alpha. Now they do have it. It did clear. Several years later, they had to go through
Sure.
a whole lot, but it did clear. Alphas are there. Everyone's there. But that was the beginning of our Alpha Phi Alpha 1906 because of the hazing and some of the things that they wasn't supposed to do that they were
Right.
doing.
Right. Right. I feel
You
that. I feel
understand?
that.
But some people, when they talk about it or people spy on you and tell it, then it gets shut down. But it's supposed to be like the military, sacred stuff you don't tell. You just endure it.
It's supposed to be, but you had a birdie that was chirping. That's what it was.
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. That's how I went down. But listen, the Divine Nine is true to all of us. That's what we do. 1906 is the first. Those are the bras, the black and gold, ice cold. You understand? And it was just
Absolutely.
awesome, man. We
Absolutely.
we had great times. in college, you know what I mean? We learned business, we learned interaction. And of course, I, um, what's the word I want to use, had an encounter with the Lord in college. And
Hmm.
that's when I started praying for people, talking to people, taking it into business, being a part of the gospel choir there and traveling all around. And I knew for then I was going to be a businessman, somehow incorporate spirituality or faith in my business practices. And I did. It started right there at Eastern Kentucky University, and it still goes on today.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. My man. I want to ask you some favorite questions. Okay.
Yes,
And you
sir.
just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. All right. You with me?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh, I'm a breakfast man. You understand? I'm the breakfast
Mm.
man, no doubt about it. I'm laying down breakfast all day long. I got the best pancakes with the crispy edges around it. Believe that. I
Ooh,
do the
okay.
eggs. I scramble them medium. You understand, with cheese, but then I add my favorite, the green peppers, red peppers. And listen, I have done it for the Archbishop. I've done it for others and senators. You understand, when they come through, and I say, you got to
Hmm.
taste my breakfast. You understand? Hands down,
Okay.
no one's ever complained thus far. And then I always tell them,
Mm.
I've got the hot water cornbread special. When I make it with the
Mm.
crispiness, everybody love it. You understand? Somebody
Okay.
got to make the greens. Somebody got to put some cabbage with it. But trust me, brother, when I make those two things right there, mm,
All right. Now when I
heaven
step
didn't
foot
touch
in
it.
the 313, I'm just
Oh,
gonna
heaven
say,
didn't
my
touch
bro.
the doc. 313 is the place to be. That's where God live.
Okay, okay. Now when I step there, I'm just saying when I touch down, you gotta bless me. Now you gotta bless me with
Brother,
something like that.
if you touch down in Michigan and I'm in town, you will be blessed. You'll be talking about it on your show.
Okay, say
Y'all
less.
got to get down there to the prophet.
You know
That
I
brother
will.
can cook.
I'm telling you, I'll be singing like a canary. I'm telling
Yes,
you.
you will. Yes, you
I'm
will,
trying
brother.
to
Even
tell
if you
you.
couldn't sing, you'll start singing. Woo!
Hey, hello, hello. I'm with you on that. Okay, that's what's up. I'm a huge taco person. So I'm a huge taco person. You know, being a sports reporter, were nights and weekends. I'm freelance now, so I get to kind of choose. But when I was in the grind for the first at least 6 years of my career, I was definitely doing a lot of tacos. Definitely a lot of
Okay.
tacos. So no doubt. Okay, I'm with you on that. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh man, the best concert I've ever attended. It's two of them really. It was Earth, Wind, and Fire
The
in
element.
LA. I was in LA. They were at the Forum, and the
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire jam packed. I'm on the second row, not the first row, but the second row. But we
Okay.
still can reach out to them. Cold blooded concert, man, out cold. I don't think no other band has even came close to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ooh. Oh
The
wow.
music, the blending, the elements, man, the horn section, oh my goodness, man, it was incredible.
Not Parliament, not Parliament.
No, no, no. I didn't been to Parliament, doing all that, Doc. I've been
Mhm, mhm.
funkadelics, brunking it down. Ready or not, here.
Right,
But no, 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 no,
right.
no. Hands down. Earth,
Okay.
Wind, and Fire. The second one is the Jacksons, man. And when Michael
Mm,
Jackson, brother, let me tell you something. They knew how to put on a show.
not bad.
That's straight up talented, gifted. The music was already tight, but they put on a
Mhm.
show. These folk don't put on a show like that today. Matter of fact,
Oh,
I
no.
believe they started all of the grouping and whatnot, but nobody has ever done it like them, brother.
No, I feel that. I think I would say my show, the best show that I probably have went to, or at least one of them, is Alicia Keys.
Oh yeah.
Alicia Keys is definitely one of my favorites. The way she could play the piano and
Oh,
sing,
she's
it was amazing.
beautiful. She can sing.
No question.
Unbelievable, brother.
No question.
Unbelievable.
But I'm a huge
I love the
R&B
song of
person.
her and Jay-Z. New York.
Oh,
Come on, man. That's my
yeah.
jam.
Absolutely. Blast that up to the moon. I'm telling you, I love that song. I love it. No doubt. Okay.
New York.
Right? Concrete jungles where dreams are made of,
Come
baby. You
on,
know what
baby.
I'm
Come on.
saying?
If you can make it there, you
You
can
can
make
make
it
it
anywhere.
anywhere. That's right. That's right. My man. I appreciate that. I love that. Favorite place you've ever traveled to? Great segue. Favorite place you ever traveled to?
Australia, my brother.
Wow, you
Australia.
got to tell me about that one.
Down under,
Australia.
the mate. For some reason, Australia people, not only are they're good people, they remind me of folks in the South. When you go in the South, whether you're black or white, people are friendly, they're welcoming, and
Absolutely.
they'll give you food off of their plate to give it to
Hmm.
you, and you're a stranger. That's the South. Well, this is how Australia, and for some reason, they love African Americans. I don't know why. They're fascinated with us. Amen. And they open the door for us. I'm like, oh, this
Hmm.
is great. They making you feel like a little king or something. You understand?
I
And I
love it.
loved it. I loved it. It's
Well,
amazing, amazing.
what was that trip about? Was that like just a family trip, or a friend's trip, or
Mm.
maybe even a church trip? What was that trip
It
on?
was a church trip. I was with a group of people out of Seattle, Washington, out
Mhm.
from Renton, Washington. We went down there as a group to help a group, a family. They had a farm, and we
Okay.
went down there to help them in the farming because they were having some challenges getting workers. So they said, "Hey, let's go there." The woman named Tonya at the time, and her dad, he was man, he was good at farming, and so we went
Okay.
down there just to help. And then, of course, we had some downtime. They gave us the tour. It was incredible. I promise you.
Okay.
I said, this place is
I'm putting
amazing.
that on the bucket list, my man. I'm
Oh,
putting it on the
for
bucket
real,
list.
Doc. No question about it. You need to do that next to Hawaii. Okay.
Okay, okay, I'm with you on that. Jamaica will be my place.
All right.
I went on. Oh my goodness, went on a cruise last October. Dad set it up. Went as a family. Jamaica's my place. Jerk chicken like you would never
Oh,
believe.
absolutely. Love
Authentic
that.
jerk chicken, great
Love
rice.
that.
Food is
Ochos
there.
Rios, my brother.
Oh my gosh.
That's the place. Believe that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the place to be.
Two more of the favorites before I get into the other questions. This next one here, I'm a sport person. I know you're a sport person. We talked a little bit about sports. Obviously, we met Super Bowl week. Favorite sport
Absolutely.
you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to
Ain't no
watch in
question.
person? They can be the same
Yeah.
sport.
Football, man. There's no question for me. Football. I played football. I ran track, played football. You know what I mean. And so for me, football is it. I mean, I love football. I love the interaction of football. I love the fact that the defense, the offense, but then I like when the special teams come on. Even the kicker. You understand? I love
For
talking to all
sure.
the kickers, man. Even today, I find the kicker, go talk to them because they're pivotal for a game, yet don't nobody really talk to them. You know what I'm saying? But
No,
if
they don't.
they make that kick and can win the game, they champions. You follow me? And so
Right. They
I
love them. They
love
love them.
football, man. I've always been a football man. I played football myself and I loved it. I still love it today. I like watching it. I like being there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just exhilarating.
Okay. Now, I should ask these next bonus questions here. Now, you from Detroit. How do you feel about the last two national championships being from the Big Ten, one Michigan and one Ohio State? How you feel about that?
Well, here's the deal, man. University of Michigan, killed it. You know what I'm saying? The year before, they won everything. Nobody beat them, including Ohio State. Then, of course, Jim Harbaugh left, and everybody leaves. A lot of the players go to the NFL.
Hmm.
You got to start back over. You know what I'm saying? Ohio State still kept their same team, so they won. Praise God. You know what I'm saying? That's good. However, Michigan and Ohio, boy, we rivalries. You understand? We go neck to neck. Believe that. And when Michigan can't win Ohio, it's not a good day.
And it's not. It's not.
So
They did beat
for
them in the regular season, though. They beat them in
that's
the
what I'm
regular
talking
season.
about. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. So
Yeah.
for Ohio to win, we happy for them, but we know it's only because we had to rebuild.
Okay. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. The next bonus,
But they
the next
represent.
bonus,
They represent. They represent
they do.
Ohio,
They
man.
do. The next bonus question I have before I get to the last favorite is talk about the Lions. Now the Lions had a great season this
Oh,
year, man. But
my brother.
that boy Jaden Daniels came into that forward field and he showed out. What do you think now with the Lions losing not only their offensive coordinator, but they lost their defensive coordinator? They've lost their running. I think they lost another coach as well. What do you
That's
think about the
coaches, yeah.
Detroit Lions and their coaching staff?
They definitely lost some coaching staff. But here's the deal, man. Nobody wants you if you don't win. Nobody's looking at you if you don't win, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they would have
Mm-hmm.
lost and continue to lose, those coaches will still be there. But the
Right.
mere fact that they've won, now it gives attention to, oh man, who was their offensive coordinator? Who's that defensive guy? Who's up? Now they get attention. You can't knock a brother if they need to leave and make more money, better their family, feed their family, and you've helped them get there. Oh, you got to
Right.
let them go.
Right.
However, the good news is we still got our coach. We still got the
Dan Campbell.
majority of our players. Many of them was just hurt. You know what I mean? We lost a lot, 18, 19 players,
Right.
major players. 9 of them was major players. That hurts, you
Right.
understand?
Right.
Especially when others had to step up, fill in, and win. And they won. That's what was amazing. Now you get to the playoffs, you lose energy. You've lost your juice. You don't have any fresh player. You know what I mean? All your major game players, they hurt, man. Golf, for whatever reason, he decided to have a bad day at the
He did.
wrong time.
Bad day at the office.
Understand? So it is what it is, man. However, you cannot knock them. You've got people have to know, and they've been recognized all around the world. People was talking about the Lions. Matter of fact, it was so good that the top analysts had the Detroit Lions winning the Super Bowl. I said, this has never happened in the history that I know about football. We went from 0-16 to
Right.
almost the favorite, my brother. If we would have made it through the playoffs, I promise you everybody would have had their money on the Detroit Lions.
As they should, rightfully should. I mean, before the season, as a sports reporter myself, I had the Lions and I had the Bills. Those are my two
Ah,
picks. Because I just thought, and hear me say this, the Lions got to the NFC Championship the previous year, right? Faced San
yeah,
Francisco. They had that meltdown of a second half because they were
yes, sir.
cruising through that game. However, so
Yeah,
normally teams that get to that point, they find a way to get over that hump. And I thought the Lions would be
right.
able to do it. Like you said, a lot of injuries happened. I thought the Bills would make it because the Bills kept getting to that point of playing Kansas City. I thought they would get over the
Oh
hump
man, I
because
thought the Bills too.
I thought Josh Allen, he was the MVP,
He was
preseason
looking good.
MVP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
amazing. Isn't that amazing when you're watching this game? What could happen
yeah,
versus what does happen.
absolutely, no
Just like
question.
Tom Brady, when he was in that Super Bowl, they were losing and they were going into the fourth quarter, and they
Mhm.
said no team has ever come back in the Super Bowl after being down in the third quarter. And
Lord
Tom
have mercy.
Brady shocked the world. And that
He did.
last play, he threw that hell, and oh my good, I said he to go.
He definitely go, and no question
There's no
about it.
question in my mind, brother. That was the
He is the
go
GOAT.
play right there.
Last
Incredible.
of the favorites, Dr. Shannon. This one has to do with food. Now, I'm a huge foodie, okay? And we talked about it a little bit, like I said on Radio Row. When I get there, I'm going to go to Mom's Spaghetti. Now, people told me Mom's Spaghetti is a little bit overrated. That's okay. I'm going to try it with my taste buds and see if it's still overrated. But I need to know from you, what is a couple restaurants out there that I should check out when I touch down?
Well, it depends, what's your taste, you understand? It depends on what level. Now, first and foremost, beside my breakfast, the second breakfast that I'll take you to, and you must go, all right, is the
Mm-hmm.
original Pancake House. You have to go to the original Pancake House, right?
Not
Not the
IHOP,
IHOP,
but the
IHOP,
original
the
Pancake House.
original, right?
Okay.
Pancake
Okay.
House. You got to go
Okay.
there. OPH,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
It's in Birmingham, one in Southfield. All right. You don't need to go nowhere else. Their pancakes is number one. Everyone that comes to visit me, I tell them we going to IHOP. I mean not IHOP, original pan. I'm taking you there. You tell
Mhm.
me after you eat them, and people be raving about them to this day. I don't know
Okay.
what they do to them pancakes, but my
Mm.
brother, I had pancakes everywhere, but I've never had pancakes like this here.
I
Amen.
like that.
They the
Amen.
best,
I
right?
like that.
Then you got to get some Coney dogs. You got to get the L. George's Coney dogs. That's the best.
Okay.
Downtown Detroit on Lafayette. All right. That's it.
Mhm.
You got to
Mhm.
get their Coney dog. Now there's a lot of Coney Islands for sure. But Lafayette is they chili. They put their chili. Oh my goodness, boy. Make you
Mm.
smack a cat, dog, and make you want to fight a bear. I promise you. Right? Then you step it up. You want some
I love it.
Italian food? It's
Idea.
Andiamo's, man. They treat you
Okay.
just right. Right? It's an Italian experience. It's family style. They make sure you get conversation and food that is excellent, my brother.
My
Italian
man.
food, geez, what you say? And
I
then we
wasn't
go
even
to the
going.
upper echelon if you like steaks, if you
Hell
like
yeah.
good steaks, if you like good wine, if you like good atmosphere, you gotta go to Eddie V's. Eddie
Eddie V.
V's, my brother.
Mm.
Yes, sir. They got a little, dress code after 4, but let me tell you, it's worth it. It's worth it. Anybody
Mm.
go up in there, they coming out satisfied. Trust me.
Okay.
Huh?
All right.
It's a little
You know,
expensive, but it's
mm,
worth it. It's worth it.
well, well,
You gotta hit them
Sly and the
spots.
Family Stone said it best. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Come on and do it. Do it. I
So I'm
heard
with
that.
that. I'm with that. Okay, I love that. And you know
Oh, you
what?
got to
When I
do it.
do touch down there, I'm definitely gonna hit you up. There's no
You
question
better
about it.
do it. If you
Yes,
don't,
indeed.
it's a shame for God.
Listen, I don't want to be shamed. I don't want to be shamed now. So you best believe
Don't
my
do it.
number will be hitting those 10 digits
You
up
are
of
Chris
yours.
Drummond. All right. That's who
Yes,
you
ma'am.
be. You the
Yes, sir.
man that God has touched for such a time as this. You must do
Absolutely.
it.
From
It's a
your lips
must.
to my ears. I
That's
appreciate that,
right,
man.
my brother.
I
You
do.
heard it. God wrote it down.
I want to get into your day to day now because I know, for a journalist like myself that was on the grind for
Yeah.
the first 6 years of my career, and even now, even when I do
Yeah.
stories and do certain events, day to day is never the same. 2 days are never the
No.
same.
No,
They're
sir.
always different. You always doing different things. I want to know what is a day in the life of Dr. Pastor Anthony D Shannon. What goes on in your day today, and how do you navigate through that?
Well, first of all, it starts early in the morning.
Mm.
Early in the morning, right? We're
Okay.
talking about 5 o'clock from 5 to 6 every
Ooh,
day, with the exception of Sunday, right? And maybe Saturday sometimes, but for the majority, it's 6 days a week from 5 to 6 a.m. I am meditating and I am praying.
okay.
I'm meditating and I'm praying. And then I'm listening and writing down. I'm writing down creative ideas, activities, different things that have coming to me through that thought and in the meditation. And then from 6, I get up and I go to the gym. All right. I walk. I got
Absolutely.
all of the different things that I do just to put oxygen in my body, strengthening my legs because I do a lot of standing, walking, speaking, teaching, and you need your legs. You need it. Right. So we work out every other day in our workout. We're doing
Okay.
something different, right? Every
Hmm.
day for 6 days a week. When we come back, then we normally start our day of appointments, right? From 8:30. We're all automatically in there. All right. From 8:30 on Mondays, we have these one-on-one coaching sessions that we've created through our coaching product. All right. Now, what's amazing is that Mondays and Tuesdays is for coaching and we train leaders. And on Wednesday morning, it's simple. Start at 8:30. We're in class. I'm in class for another master's degree at
Wow.
Virginia Union University. So it starts at 8:30. Those classes are 4 hours long. I got 3 classes on Wednesday back to back, right? So
Yeah.
it gets rough. Also on Saturday, we have them back again. All right. So those classes is there. Then of course, we're writing our books. We just finished the one book, Sacred Success. Our second book is right now being in there. Finalized, should I say. It's called The Process of Change is Now. So the one book in April, Sacred Success, will be releasing that
Hmm.
on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. We'll be doing a what we call a campaign for that book so people can buy the ebook and then of course get the book pre-ordered sent to them in April. And then of course
Okay.
in July we will release the second book of the process of change is now. So in
Okay.
between that, I'm also a sheriff chaplain. So I go and I do debriefings for sheriffs and in the prisoners who've been hurt. They're very I want to say this, they may have some mental health challenges. Maybe they
Okay.
murdered
Okay.
someone, different things of that sort. Police officers who shot and been hurt. We do a lot of those debriefs as well as walk with the sheriff when different politicians come into town, like a president,
Absolutely.
ex-president, or senator, or somebody's running. They call me to work on that all the time. all the time. So we do that on Thursdays, right? So we have to manage all of these things that we're doing in order to maximize it. And then, of course, we pastor a church. So we've got leaders that we've trained up to run stuff. But guess what? I have to show up on Sunday. I got to show up on a Wednesday,
Absolutely.
right? But I don't have to do it all the time because of all of the different leaders that I've raised up. But at one time, I used to be the only one, but
Mm.
now that I've raised up leaders, it expands my reach that I can be working on my book. I can be working on a sermon series. I can be working on a speech or a keynote for someone as I'm traveling and coming back. It's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm tired listening to the schedule, but you but you do this on a daily basis, which is amazing.
Daily basis.
It shows your work ethic. It shows your passion. It shows your creativity to be able not to just do one thing, but do multiple things. But it also shows your discipline, your structure as well. I can admire that. It's a great segue though to this next question, and that's mental health and work-life
Yes, sir.
balance. Um, you touched up on it, talking about mental health. It is much more prevalent in our society now than it's ever
Yeah,
been before. People are talking about it, it's getting out there, which is great. But people are also leaving industries because of it, because sometimes their mental health is affected, sometimes they're being beaten down by it. And
yes,
also
sir.
work-life balance. Work-life balance. I don't know if you ever find 100% of work-life balance. I'm still struggling to try to get the work-life balance, as most of us are that are in industries, right? So tell me, how do you keep your mental health strong and try to have some work-life balance without feeling burnout? Because sometimes when you're going 100 miles per hour, my man, you do get that sense of, whew, maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I am burning out. But how do you prevent that and keep your mental health strong?
Well, first of all, let's just look at it from this perspective, what mental health is. It
Mhm.
refers to any person's emotional, psychological,
Mhm.
or social well-being, right?
Right,
That then affects how you, me, or any individual think,
hmm,
feel, or then behave. And as well as how they handle things, how they handle stress, how they relate to others, and how they make decisions, because those decisions are going to affect them in some way, form, or fashion. So, good mental health then allows people to function what I call effectively in their daily lives. It helps
right,
them cope with challenges, the stress, and maintain healthy relationships at the same time. As I said earlier, if you don't manage the changes will begin to manage you. So, mental
mhm,
health can be influenced by various factors, including the person's genetics, how they grew up, what's in their DNA, their life experiences, such as trauma or abuse. I found out from interviewing people and dealing with people that one out of one out of every four women that you meet have been
right,
raped, have been abused, or the male. That's straight up. And so their environmental factors help or cause that for mental health. Common mental health conditions include anxiety, right? Depression, oppression, bipolar, which you hear a lot now, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia. I grew up in a household, believe it or not. My stepfather, who adopted me, gave me his last name, Shannon. Um,
hmm,
he was considered a paranoid schizophrenic with
huh,
homicide tendencies, right? That's what they
right,
classified them. So mental health is taking care involves what I call self-care practices. Like I tell you, every morning I get up from 5 to 6. I've got to take a moment to meditate. I got to take a moment to think, pray. I got to just sit there and be grateful of different things. And I make it a practice to write
right.
out 5 to 7 things that I'm grateful for to keep
Mhm.
myself, instead of thinking and comparing myself to somebody else or whatnot. So this is some of the stuff that I do. Of course, I work out to take care of self-care, because sometimes we can get so inundated with so many things or encumbered that we forget about ourselves. It's like a chef who's cooking all the
No
food, but
question.
he ain't tasting none of it. Like, what?
Absolutely.
And you ain't tasting a
Absolutely.
barber who's cutting everybody's hair, but his hair is messed up. Dude, you follow me?
Right.
So
Right.
that to me is mental health. All right. And that's how I began to deal with it, especially when we're talking to people about anxiety. Anxiety is another trait that seemed to be coming and getting a lot of attention lately. A lot of
Yes.
people having anxiety. I mean, hey, it's so bad. People are taking medicine for that. It's nervousness, all because of the pressure, right? They start breathing heavy, and people have the fear of the stage. People have a fear of speaking. It's amazing of the anxieties and the phobias that people have, but we help them through our academy, Leaders Live Generously Academy, function and deal with mental health issues, challenges of anxiety, of depression, of bipolar disorder. And we even
Right.
bring in clinicians to help them with the clinical part of it.
I love that. Again, great segue because I want to talk about advice. What advice would you give individuals as as you talk about making leaders within your community, within your church, being able to be a writer, being able to be somebody who is a public speaker that goes to different things and speaks to people? What kind of advice would you give an individual that wants to be an author, that wants to get into the church, that wants to do some of the similar things that you're doing as a career?
Well, first of all, as I stated before, you've got to find your purpose. And once you find your purpose, you live your life. Everyone born sincerely has what we call tag. Tag is talent, abilities, and giftings. Everybody has that. It is you have it naturally, things you gravitate to. Like me, I gravitated to running and football, and I was good at it. I never played basketball on a team. But when I was a freshman, I decided I'm gonna go out for the team. You understand? I loved basketball. I played in the playground, with different of my friends. And I
Absolutely. Yeah.
decided to go out. Now, as a freshman, I was on the varsity football team. As a freshman, I made the varsity track team. However, when I went out for the basketball team, they put me on JV. My pride got me, and I should have probably learned how to play organized basketball, and it
Mhm.
probably wouldn't have took me long. But I said, no, I don't want to play because I'm on varsity on the other two. What it looked like, I'm JV, but I wasn't good
Right,
at that
right,
anyway. So
right.
you understand? That's that's how it works. So for what I tell people is whatever you gravitate to naturally, right? Your talents, your abilities, your giftings is, and you love to do it, then you're moving in the right direction of finding your purpose. That thing that you're passionate about. For example, I give an example. My son, since he was 2 years old, he gravitated to basketball. So, I mean, when he was two, he just loved basketballs. He would always grab them. And we go in the store, he'd grab them. So I said, oh, you like basketball. So I started feeding him basketball. Everything. Games was basketball. Everything we did was basketball. I would take him out to play basketball, got him the little hoop. And when he was about 5, I put him in all these little league things that he could play basketball, sent him to camps since he was 5 years old. My son was
Right.
so good that the the high school coaches was coming to the middle school to get him. And so he had picked this one school. He was like, we're going to go there for high school. They were so happy. He was coming for the break. And he did the band camp. And when he came back from the band, he said, I don't want to play basketball no more. We were like, what? What are you
Wow.
talking about? You've been doing this since two. Dude, you are
Right,
scheduled to start everything. He said, I
right,
don't want to do it no more. I said, what are you talking about? This is what you do. He said, no, that ain't my
right.
passion. I mean, it was almost like a 90-degree turn, 360 really, because I thought, I said, you kidding. So I said, I tell you what, just take a week off, 2 weeks off. Let's talk about it. Nope. For 2 weeks, he's in the room working on music, learning music. And then after the 2 weeks, I said, what you gonna do? He said, I'm not playing basketball. I said, what do you? He said, I'm gonna do music. That's what I'm
Wow.
supposed to do. That's my purpose. That's what I'm passionate about. I said, well, how did you find that out when you've been playing basketball since two? He said, I went to band camp and it just hit me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And
Yeah.
I said, you got to go talk to the coach. He went and talked to the coach. Coach was upset, school upset. But let me tell you something. He been doing music ever since. He didn't put out albums and all kind of stuff. He produced people. I'm like, wow, that's finding your purpose, my brother.
Absolutely. I love that advice. I do. I really love that. I want to, we're at the portion now of this podcast where we're going to do this or that, which is my interactive game that I told you about right here on the
Yes,
Work Hard
sir.
Play Hard podcast. What typically is I throw some things out at you and you get to choose this or that. So, Dr. Anthony Shannon, are you ready?
I'm ready, my brother. I stay ready.
You stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I feel
Come
that.
on
I feel
now.
that. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Do you like chicken?
Yes, I like
Like,
chicken.
yeah, you like chicken? Okay. Now, see, the reason why I asked that first because there's some people on this platform of my podcast that say they're vegetarian, they don't like it. I'm like,
Yes, sir.
okay, then I got to pivot. All right, but I don't have to pivot with you. That's good. Here we go. Which place are you choosing to eat chicken at over these two? Popeyes or KFC?
Oh, Popeyes. No doubt.
Okay. Okay. You on point like a period right now. I like that. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's keep it rolling. Which chicken wing flavor are you choosing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Oh, lemon pepper for me all day long.
Okay. Do you like your wings wet or dry?
Oh, I like them dry.
Okay. Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Oh, no, I got to have a bone. That's the flavor.
Okay. Okay. I'm with that. I like that. I like lemon pepper too, by the way. So I'm with you on that. No doubt. No
We,
doubt. I'm
we
with
call
that.
it we call it the crack. Give me that pepper crack.
That's what y'all call it up there, the crack.
Yes, sir. We said put that crack on that, brother. Put that crack on that doc.
I like
Make
that.
it heavy.
I
Put
like
it
that.
heavy on it. All right.
All right. I'm with you on that. I love it. Okay. So now these next five have to do with music concerts that you rather attend. So here we
Yes,
go.
sir.
First music concert is the group. Which group would you rather see? Boys the Men or New Edition?
Oh, ain't no question, boys to men. That
Okay.
harmony, they dressing. Oh, it's cold blooded. I've already saw them in concert, both of them in concert, and I like boys to men all day long.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Now, this next one here has to do with R&B. Which R&B artists are you seeing? Would you rather see Gerald Levert or Keith Sweat?
Oh, Keith Sweat. He talking to the girls. They throwing panties on the stage. What you talking about? Real estate.
We
Keith be
definitely
like,
around when
it's
that happened.
it's
We
more
around
than
when
one
that.
way to love somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Gerald
hello,
Levert, he got that
hello.
one voice, you know. But Keith, I'm like, shit. I need a charge.
I know
Heavens
that's
to
right.
Merkin charge.
I know that's right. Yes, sir. Okay, we off to a good start. Which R&B artists would you rather see in person? Would you rather see Prince or Michael Jackson?
Oh shoot, Michael Jackson for sure.
Okay,
I told you
okay.
he's an entertainer. Prince is a musician. There's no question about it. He was a musician. He could play everything. Genius, lyrical, made it happen. Matter of fact, Prince is the only guy I know, excuse me, that got away with makeup, lipstick, and stilettos, brother, and wasn't gay. Lord have mercy. Hey, that boy got away with it. You understand?
He
And
did.
people
He
loved it
did.
because he could sing, dance, shout you out, and had the finest woman on his side. What you talking about? That's
Oh
Prince.
yeah,
But Mike,
Apollonia, baby. No doubt.
oh,
No
Mike
doubt.
gonna entertain you, brother. I want to be
Yes,
entertained.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. This might be a little difficult for you. Which group would you rather see in person? Would you rather see the OJs or the Spinners?
Oh, spinners, man. Spinners all day.
Ooh, okay,
Spinners all
okay,
day. Believe that.
okay. I got you. I got you.
Say it.
You've been
Hey,
pretty
don't
decisive
you
on these.
know I love you?
I like
Did they
that.
do a little
Okay.
spin? Oh,
Absolutely.
brother, come on. If you get five brothers, six brothers, seven brothers in harmony, but it's easy to get three or four. But when you get about
Mhm.
six of them, you might as well do an army cadence. Left, right, left, right. You
You
know what I'm
right.
saying?
You so right. Okay, I'm with you
That's
on
hard
that.
to get,
Rubber
man.
band man. I'm
Oh,
with you
come
on that.
on. There it is.
Okay. Okay. Now this last one here, last one I'm gonna switch up and I'm gonna go to hip hop.
All
Okay.
right.
Which person, if you had to choose, which person would you rather see? Would you rather see Kendrick or Drake?
Oh, come on. Kendrick is the one.
K
What
Dot.
a minor.
Hey,
Kendrick is the most lyrical genius right now in today. Reminds me of EMDPD back in the day, right?
oh
I
yeah.
need some
Oh yeah.
money. Them brothers, man, lyrical geniuses. And a lot of folks in today's time, especially with hip hop, they don't have the lyrical genius. Kendrick, hands down, battled Drake, and Drake lost. So he went into ad hominems attacking his wife and family. See, that's ad hominems. That's like going below the belt. And in the
Mhm.
African American community, we call it the dozens. You understand? You're gonna go off of me,
No
I go
doubt.
off on you. Just don't talk about the mamas. You like, oh, you want
That's
to talk
right.
what?
That's right.
You know, that's below the belt. But when he was losing his lyricalness, he ain't had nothing. But Kendrick kept it going. I'm like, and then the world took over the song. The rest is
It's
history.
history. I know that's right. Okay, I'm with you on that. All right, that's pretty good. Now, let me ask you, which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Oh, bowling for me all day.
Are you a good bowler?
I'm a decent bowler for sure. But
Okay,
but one thing I like about the ball for bowling, the ball goes into a to the gutter and it come right back.
okay.
Badminton, if I miss it, I got to go run after it. I ain't running after
I
that.
feel,
I
I feel
need to
you on
come
that.
on
I
back to me.
feel
Come
you.
on back to.
Less work for you. I know that's right. I know that's right. Now, you don't need the bumpers, do you? You don't need the bumpers?
No, no, we don't need that. No, sir. We
Okay,
don't
okay.
definitely don't need that.
All right, all right. We may have to test that theory out there. I'm just saying, I throw a good ball too now. I'm
That's what
just,
I'm
I'm just
talking about.
I don't want to toot my own horn, doctor, but
Oh, don't do it. I
you
got
know what
some
I'm saying?
young fellas, man, that's been bowling for a minute. And
Okay,
Darius, he got a little spin on it, boy.
okay,
Hey, yes,
okay.
sir.
All right, all right. I'll keep that in mind now. Here we go. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch hockey or baseball?
I'm a baseball man for sure. Hockey, too
Mhm.
much fighting. They fight all the time. You know, I don't like that. Every time people getting in a fight, it's like they play to fight. You know, with
Right.
baseball, man, I like that. Matter of fact, I was telling myself I should have played baseball, man. Them brothers is cool out there, brother. He
Now,
got 9 innings of
what
cool.
position would you have played?
I think I would have played a shortstop for sure. I'd have been in the
Mm,
middle to be able to get him out, throw one out, go to the home plate. Yeah, I want to make
okay.
sure you're out.
I feel that. I would have been in left field. Left
I'd have
field
been
is
a
my position for sure.
okay, okay.
I
We
love the
need them left
outfield.
fields. When that ball coming, we need you to run out there and swoop.
That's me. That's me all day. Cause I don't. If I play infield, the ball gonna hit my face. I don't know how to. It's gonna hit my face. It's gonna take a funny hop. You know how it does. Yeah, you know how in
Yes,
baseball
sir.
take that funny hop. So yeah. Keep me in the outfield where the ball's in the air and I can just go
Yes,
get
sir.
it. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like desserts?
Man, I love desserts. Can't you tell?
Okay.
Come
Hey, listen. Me too. Listen. Us big fellas got to stick together. You know what I'm saying?
on,
Here,
brother.
here we go. I'm gonna name 4 categories of desserts. You got to choose one of these that you'll never eat again. Okay. So here we go. First one is ice cream. The second one is candy. The third one is cookies. The last one is cakes/pies. Which one are you getting rid of?
Candy for sure.
I know that's right. I would have got rid
Candy
of the
can
same
go.
thing. The same thing. Now, what's your favorite ice cream?
Come on, Haagen-Dazs, my brother. I gotta have that strawberry or I gotta have that vanilla almond. Come on now, Swiss. It's called vanilla almond Swiss. Gives you a little
Mm.
almond in it with a little Swiss swirl going around. It's not too much, but the ice cream is the real deal. That Haagen-Dazs. It's cold-blooded. I
Okay,
love it.
so don't kill me, but fun fact here, I've never had Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Oh no, my brother.
Yeah, I
See,
never had it.
when you start moving into the delicacies of taste and you start moving to the 4 star, 5 star, 7 star, they introduce you to the delicacy of the palate. They bring
Okay,
out for you all of the best. The chefs allow you to taste them all. They then begin to describe them for you. They bring all the wines out and tell you what is paired with the
I
meats and
love it.
how to cook the meats. After you've experienced that, you like, okay. I want the Haagen-Dazs, my brother.
Haagen
That's
Dazs.
all they
Okay, so
use. They use the
what?
Haagen. It's real. Everything in
Mm,
there, all the real ingredients is in there, and
okay.
real cream. It's just good stuff, brother.
Now, see, I grew up on Baskin Robbins. I grew up
Okay.
on Ben and Jerry's because
Uh-huh.
I'm originally from the
Ben and
West
Jerry's
Coast.
is very creative with their stuff. Very
Yeah.
creative with their stuff.
So I'm cookies and cream. Ben and
Yeah.
Jerry's. That's me.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
Ben and
Okay.
Jerry's got some good stuff, my brother. They make some
Absolutely.
flavors, man, that ain't nobody done before.
Hello. So I'm with you on that. Okay. Do you like
And
potato chips?
Blue Bonnet brand is a good brand too.
Ooh, that is a good brand.
Blue
Blue
Bonnet
Bonnet. Yes,
brand,
it is. Yes.
very good brand.
I agree. I agree with that.
Hmm.
Do you like potato chips?
I love them. What you talking about? We from Detroit, doc. Lay's potato chips up here in Detroit. Better Made up here in Detroit. What?
Okay.
Fago?
Now,
What you man? We got a whole museum of what has
mhm,
been made in Detroit that travels. Verner's, all in Detroit. Come on, you
okay.
don't hear me. A&W root beer, all up in Detroit. What?
I never had A&W. I never had any root beer in my life.
See, Chris, this is why you got to make a trip to Detroit. 313, the place to be. It's where God lived, brother. This is where all the good stuff has been birthed. This is where it started right
Oh,
here.
it's on
It
the
wasn't in
list.
Ohio, it was in Michigan.
That's right. That's right. Okay, I'm with you
The
on that.
hits
Now
came out of
listen,
Michigan, Motown, downtown. You got to go
Motown.
over
Come
there
on.
to the Motown and walk
That's
right,
true.
right through there and go downstairs where Barry Gordon and Michael and them made all them hits.
That's
Smokey
true.
Robinson, it's all there. You need to
Okay.
go check it out from Detroit.
Trust me, when I touch down in that city, it ain't gonna be pretty because I'm gonna be going
Fisher
around doing my
Theater.
thing.
Come on, man. These people was over there doing theatrics before they went to New York on Broadway.
Absolutely. I like it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna name 4 brands for you. You
Yes,
got to
sir.
choose one of these brands. You'll
You
never eat
got it.
again. So here we go. The first brand is Lay's. The next brand is Doritos. The next brand is Pringles. The last brand is Ruffles. Which one are you getting rid of?
Doritos got to go.
Mm,
Doritos got to go, man. That's
okay.
why they ain't have an
As
ad in the
long as you
Super
ain't say
Bowl.
Ruffles, we good.
Oh, hey, Doritos got to go. That's why they had no ad in the Super Bowl. Cheetos
Okay.
did, cheese everywhere.
Yep. You right. Okay, hold on. Are you a salt and vinegar person?
You better believe it, man. I'll be tearing them up. Come on.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Salt and
goodness.
vinegar
Listen,
chips.
let me tell you something. They the second worst chip ever made.
See? There it is.
Second worst. Now, you probably saying to yourself, Chris, what's the first worst thing?
Yeah, what's the
Funyuns.
first? Who?
Whoever made Funyuns they need to be hit with the white and the black side of my hand. Both of them. Both
Hey,
sides.
somebody making millions off of them Funyuns. And the last time I checked, the salt and vinegar chips made Lay's and some other group, they made a whole several millions of dollars in that one chip.
Lord have mercy.
So
Mm.
somebody disagree with you, my brother.
It seems like
It's like somebody
somebody.
said, we don't like Joel Osteen. I said, well, 50,000 people every weekend choose to differ.
Yeah. There's always gonna be a lot more that do. A
Come
lot
on,
more that
man.
do like
You
the
making
dislike.
millions off of it and going to the bank. I don't care if you don't like it and don't. Yeah,
Right. They certainly don't care that I said that. That's for
come
sure.
on,
No
dog. Now,
question.
if you start making millions off of that as a brand, you're gonna be like, y'all are my favorite sponsor.
Well, I might convert. I just might convert. Ain't no question about it. I might be
Hey,
a
I don't have
disciple.
to
I
like your
might be.
stuff to sell your stuff.
Hello, I'm
I
with you
do
on
have to
that.
like you.
That's true. That's very true. I love that. I love that. You was great on this or that. And listen, this next question here, I like to ask everybody. Okay, if you wasn't a pastor, an author, a keynote speaker, in the communication field, if you wasn't in that field, what career path would you have chosen to do and why?
Man, I always wanted to be an architect and
Really?
draftsman, and that's exactly what I set out to do. I wanted to build my own homes. I wanted to build other homes creatively. I wanted to create things and take all of the different elements and create different woods inside the homes. And I used to create model homes in high school. even when I got to college. It's just that for some reason, I went into the broadcast arena, and they had a jazz. It was called WEKGZZ, and that was the
Okay.
jazz. Man, it reminded me of Detroit because we used to have WJZZ. And went in there and talked to the guy sitting down. Next thing I know, man, I'm like, I'm going into broadcasting, man. And I went
Mm.
to broadcast. I did a show, my own jazz show for EKU. And I remember telling them, hey, you're moving and grooving with Anthony D Shannon. We're making the devil show enough mad. Sit back, relax. This is gonna be cool. Jeff Goldberg coming to you live. Sit back, get you a glass of wine. If you're too young, think and wish what time when you hit 21. But other than that, check this
Okay.
out.
Okay. My man. I like that. No, I do. I like that. Now you say you was getting your another master's. What are you getting your
Yes, sir.
master's in?
Say that one more time.
What are you getting your other masters in that you're currently
Oh,
going
I'm
right now?
getting it in. It's going to be a Master's of Divinity, MDiv, Masters of Divinity
Wow,
in
wow.
theology school.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. I too am in school getting my master's. I actually completed in May,
Okay,
and it's in professional writing with a concentration
nice.
in sports journalism. So cannot
Okay,
wait to walk across that stage and get my master's and do that. That would be
congrats,
amazing,
man.
exciting. Yes, thank you, and congrats to yourself as well, my man.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I want to know about your book. Let's get into your book a little bit. Okay, let's
Yes,
talk
sir.
about sacred success is what you called the
Ah,
first one, but also want to talk about the second one that you're working on. How did the idea of you writing a book come about? What is sacred success all about? And then you can also do the same with the second book that's on coming. That's going to be dropping this summer.
well, first of all, sacred success, it deals with the question, what is holding you back from achieving and accomplishing all that you can or want to? What if you've been holding you back for prosperity,
Mm-hmm.
for notoriety, for entrepreneurship or dreams because of the voices that you've heard? And what if now is the time to cease it? And if we could show you how to do it, would you be willing to do it? And then the question is, if it's no, this book is not for you. Just put it down and keep on moving in your life. But if you answered yes, this is the book for you. We uncover for you sacred success, meaning something that's been hidden or set apart that for the masses did not know. That's all sacred is or set apart is. Somebody set it apart, nobody knows about it. It's like a safe deposit box. Somebody put it up, everybody don't know about it. Somebody's got a policy, you don't know about it. You understand? That's all this was. And there's laws in this earth that contain success. There's laws to it. It's like the law of gravity, right? There's a law. And so
Mm-hmm.
what go up must come down. But then they had to figure out, whoa, there's another law called the law of lift. I could go against gravity and fly. You understand? And so sacred success, that's exactly what it does. You understand? It causes people to tap into another perspective so that
Right.
they can begin to implement the principles of what we call standing on principles, promises, and precepts versus ideologies and things that are perception but never been proven. Because I can have a perception somebody's going to hurt me, but that's all a perception. It's fear, it's phobia, but it's never been proven. I can't make
Right.
that real, even though it's real to me, but it's not solid. It's not proven. You understand? We call that an imagination. Get that out of your head. Ain't nothing happening to you. But if you keep doing it and saying it, oh, it's gonna happen. And then when it happened, you the one made it happen, not them, you. So we teach all of this in the book about commitment and wealth financing and
Okay.
how to invest and what to do with your money from the checkbook to the savings or what have you. Sacred success, backed up by some of the research we've done through Jews. Why are the Jews in the top 38% of Jewish people are always on the Forbes Fortune list, 400 list for billionaires. It's 38% of them are Jewish people. When you look at the top industries, far as jewelry, far as computers, far as movies, all of the
Right.
top are Jewish, right? Zuckerberg, Jewish. Michael Dell, Jewish. Steven Spielberg, Jewish. All the top of their game. Number one, billionaires, not black folks, Jewish folks. So what are we missing? Even as many black folks that are millionaires, we got a few billionaires, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, they made the list, a few of them, but we're less than 1% out of all of them people that make money, brother. We're only less than 1%. It's something they know we don't know. And that's what I uncovered dealing with the Jewish rabbis. It's called sacred success, hidden in a term called tzedakah, and it's hidden in Malachi. So we put it in the book to share with our people.
I love it. And when is that book dropping again? Let them know.
We are dropping that book in April. All right.
Mhm.
And people can go to our website, which is thevictorychurchint.org. Click on book and it'll tell us when it's dropping, how they can get it. And it's going to also be on Amazon, Barnes and Noble as well. So we're excited about sacred success. We also have another book called Live Generously. The Live Generously book, that's our first book. It's out now and people can get that. The book is a concept centered around how do I live generously? What is living generously about? How do I focus on giving, whether it's through my time, my resources, or my talent? And how can I transform other people's lives and communities if I can just align myself with principles of generosity? What does that mean? Okay, I'll tell you what it means. Me as a vice president, when I was in industry, I
Right.
noticed that I was supposed to get promoted to become vice president. I was ready. I had someone that I had as a successor, but the people that was under them had nobody. I said, well, how are
Right.
we going to fulfill this if we promote you? I'm ready. I got my guy ready, but we need 2 more slots filled. I'm like, man, you know how long that's going to take us to find somebody? How do we even know if they're going to have the right chemistry? That's when it dawned on me. We need to teach our leaders how to live generously, be generous with their time, make sure they're working on the next person to succeed them. You have no success without a successor, right? And so that's being generous, because if not, you got to be selfish. I don't care about them. I'm only worrying about me. I got it.
Sure.
I'm going to be promoted. I don't care, but you should care.
Yeah.
You're part of the
Paying it
team.
forward.
Absolutely. Pay it forward. No question about it. That's Live Generously. Talks about how to be a good stewardship. What is stewardship? How do you manage the money? What is the money when it comes? My own, right? Money, MONEY, my own natural energy yielding. That's in leaders. That's in the book, Live Generously, right? And so we teach that in that book. That was our first book. Now, today, matter of fact, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we have our Leaders Live Generously Summit, the virtual summit for 3 days, over 60 speakers, high caliber speakers from all over, from the UK, Sweden, South Africa, and the USA, from all around. And for 3 days, man, these folks oh man, we call it Speak to Serve, is where we give back. We didn't charge nobody a dime to view this. I spent all the money, got a few sponsors. That's why we was able to let people tap into it free. Over
Okay.
1,500 people signed up to view it, and we got the date that was watching. Over 70K people watched this broadcast from yesterday and today.
That's
Tomorrow
amazing.
is the last broadcast, so people can go to leaderslivegenerouslylive.com
I
and
love that.
watch
I
it for
do.
free. All they got to do is register and they can sign up for free and watch it. There's 3 rooms because we got 60 speakers going at the same time. So I put them in 3 rooms and people can click on room 1, 2, or 3 and all speakers are going, man. It's amazing. It's been
Okay.
beautiful. The feedback has just been amazing. It's my first one, but it ain't our last one. You understand? And so, man,
Hello. I'm with
it's
you.
wonderful, and we probably reach out to you on the next one to see if you want to participate. You understand?
Hey, man.
It's been
Listen,
incredible.
I'm cool with it, man. I definitely would pay it forward by talking about my experiences, and anything I can help out by paying it forward by letting people know about. I certainly would. So please reach out.
Because we don't have one speaker that I can think about that deals in sports or at all. Not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all in any form of way. And I know that after coming back from the media role and as we say, the Super Bowl for the media, I'm like, yeah, we got to get a few people in there in my next one for sure. There's no question about
Okay.
that.
Okay. Yeah. Just hit me up. Give me the 411 and we're with it. No doubt. I wanna ask you, on average, how long does it take for you to write a book? You know, people write books all the time, but on average, how long did it take you to write these books?
Well, let me just say this: the idea for live generously. I have a list of books that came to me as ideals because I told you I write stuff down in the mornings. So I had a
Absolutely.
list. I got a list of about 40 books, names, right? So
Hmm.
Live Generously was my first one. The Real 300 is what I call it. That's what I'm after. That's what I teach in my academy. We're looking for 300 people because at one time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy Bentleys all at one time. We're all going to go and buy 300 Bentleys at one time. We might
Okay.
pre-order them when they call come. We walking up there together and riding them down like a convoy. You understand? I even
I
got a
like that.
picture of it on my wall. What that's going to look like. I've already created it, and so that was given to me in
Mhm.
creativity in my meditation, maybe about 6 years prior to that actually coming to fruition. Live generously. Then I've written about 7 books, right? We've got The Heart of the Black Man that we put together, right? We've got the
Mm.
greatest speakers. We've got
Yeah.
the Untouchable, the Unshakable book. And just we just started writing because when I got into school, especially in the HBCU, I found out that a lot of us African American people, we go through trials, tribulations, crises. We
Without
overcome them,
question.
but we don't write it. We don't tell it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We don't tell the story. Even Tyler Perry said, I'm just telling the stories of my grandmom and them and all of that. But I'm telling you, we don't tell the story. And so that's what caused me to pray and want to write and want to give a legacy. Matter of fact, um, we're going to be working on what we call an anthology
Okay.
legacy for
Okay.
Black men. All right. Now, here's why we want to do it. It's called the faith factor. We only want men who have been through something, overcame it, didn't get bitter, got better, and now they want to talk about it. They're willing to
Okay.
share. They've
Okay.
learned, they've earned, and now it's time for them to return. And I don't think we've ever had about 10 to 15 Black men who could come together, collaborate together, share
Hmm.
their stories. That after the book comes out, we're going to be on stages to where we'll be able to answer questions from young men, couples, or middle-aged men about anything. And I figure out of 10 to 15 men on that stage, and you put all their history together, somebody gonna have
Right.
an answer. And we
Oh,
gonna be able to
absolutely.
help men become men again and strength again, or at least give them some answers that have pushed them to their destiny again. And so
I love
that's what we're doing, man. The faith factor. That's what it's gonna
faith
become.
factor. I like that. I do. What is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Well, here's the advice that I give people, man. Be yourself. Do not try to be somebody else. Don't try to compare yourself to nobody. And once I learned that, I'm cool in my own skin. You
Hmm.
follow me? No matter where I
Absolutely.
go, this is who I am. You saw me down there, that's who I am. I'm somewhere else, that's who I am. There's no two people of me. There's no Anthony who's at home and an Anthony out there. No, that's not. I am who I am because I am myself and I
Hmm.
do me, right? This is who I am. If God wanted Steve, he would have created Steve. If he wanted Susan, he would have created Susan, but he created me. So he wanted me. Glory to God. So I
I
tell
love.
people, be you,
Absolutely.
do you. That's
Absolutely.
what Chris is. That's Chris Drummond, ladies and gentlemen. He doing him.
Absolutely.
You
There's
understand?
no other Chris Drummond like you. There's no other Anthony Shannon or Chris Drummond like me. No other Anthony Shannon like you. You
Come
got to
on,
be
man.
yourself. Now, I love that advice. And especially when we get into the professionalism type of field, people emulate people a lot, right? They see them on TV or they see them in person. Like they want to be like, man, I got what they have. I want what they have. Uh, I mean, look at them on TV or look at them on the street. Look at them write books. Look at them speaking. Like, man, they just got it made. But they don't understand that, behind the scenes, I bleed the same blood you do. I go through the same problems you do. And we try to overcome as you do. It's not
Hmm.
about just trying to emulate somebody and their successes, because you got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly with every person, every individual, because we all got it.
That's
So
right.
that's what I try to advocate to my kids, because I do substitute teach as well. So what I try to tell them about the industries, because they ask me about journalism all the time, and they say, you love journalism. I'm like, yeah, I do. And listen, once you find your passion, you're gonna love it too. But you gotta work hard, you gotta play harder, no pun intended. Uh but you also gotta understand that there's behind the scenes in everybody's lives. There's gonna be things that's uncomfortable to you. You gotta turn. I always use the term before I get to the next question. I say, be comfortable being uncomfortable. And
There
my
you go.
kids look at me kind of weird. And I'm like, I get it. You guys might not understand that now, but once you get older, you will. In life, you're going to find classmates that are not very comfortable with you. You're going to find coworkers that are not very comfortable with you. You're going to have
That's right.
assignments that's not very comfortable with you. You're going to be put in places and situations that may not be very comfortable to you.
Come
But
on.
you got to turn that uncomfortable situation into a comfort. And that looks different for everybody. That ain't the same
Everybody.
for everybody, right?
That's right.
Some people like corn. Some people like corn pops. Some people like Apple Jacks. Some people like Honey Nut Cheerios. Hell, some people like all three.
Come
So
on.
it is what it is. So you got to find your lane to go into and be comfortable with and understand that the world is no manual. There's no manual for this. I tell my kids that all the time. You ain't gonna have step one, step two, step three, and this is how you do it. It's
No.
gonna be different for each individual, and you got to learn the best way possible. And the best way possible is to be as comfortable as you possibly can in this world, because if you're not, it'll beat you to your knees.
Yes, sir. That's it.
That's it.
That's
That's
it
what I
right
try to
there, my
say.
brother.
That's what I try to tell that to my kids all the time. Whenever I do get a chance to substitute teach and they ask me about journalism, because man, the kids is our futures to pay it forward. Those high schoolers are not even close to their prime. That's what I like
Right.
to sub teach for. So any wisdom that I could try to pass on them that was passed on to me, I try to do. I want to ask you about this, and I want to make sure I word this right. I want you to give me a top four. Okay, I want you to give me like a top four of places or conferences that you plan on going to. Now you went to the Super Bowl. Give me maybe four more places that you plan on going to or that you would like to go to as a bucket list to be able to advocate for yourself.
Well, when you talk about conferences, that depends, Um, I go to conferences or I go to places that I think I can either add value or I could add, or that will definitely give me the biggest impact for what I do. I realize that what I do in Leaders Live Generously, raising leaders, training leaders, that may not be for every conference, right? However,
Absolutely.
I look for the ones that I can go to and deal with. The Leadership Summit in Denver, Colorado. That's coming up May 18th through the 21st. Hosted, and that is always good because they do practical steps, insights for business owners and leaders. I love that. You understand? John Maxwell is going to be there. George Foreman. Well, I know I can add value to that. You know what I'm saying? The global Leadership Summit coming up August 7th through the 8th. That is also a good one out of Illinois. It's a 2-day speakers, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be there for that. Then, of course, we have our own, we're working on our own. It's called the Leaders Live Generously Prayer Breakfast Summit for speakers, entrepreneurs, where we now pray for, after giving you an encouraging word, we then pray for the different areas. business owners, entrepreneurs. We're praying for your success. Um, People that want to hit high targets, we're praying for their success. People that are pilots, guess what? We're praying for their success. So
I love
every
it.
speaker, when they're done, will pray for a specific area. And that's May the 3rd, right here in Michigan. You understand?
Okay.
And then the
Okay.
last one we deal with is Business Forum this year out of September the 24th. That's in Finland, right? That's an international business conference where
Mm,
speakers are coming like Simon Sinek and Angela Andrews. These are the top folks, billionaires, that's going to talk to us about AI and all of the things that's coming up. I'm big on that. Just I took classes on that at Texas University so that I could be abreast of that. All of my commercials use AI, robotics, all of that. It's state of the art. So if you go see leaderslivegenerouslysummit.com, you'll check out some of my stuff, or on my pages as far as LinkedIn, Facebook, you'll see all the commercials, how we integrate AI. We call leading from the future, my brother.
I love it. I love it. That's what's up. And listen, those are going to be some slamming summits and conferences. I know you're going to build, obviously, great connections, and you're going to be able to speak that word and speak that truth.
Yeah.
Um, Doctor, we are getting close to the end of the podcast. What I want to do now, I want to do
Yeah,
some
because I got to
rapid.
get on another call. I didn't realize that.
I
Time
want
and
to do
went
some.
went fast on me.
Absolutely. I want to do some rapid fire real quick. First thing that comes to your mind, you shout it out with glee. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Burgers or tacos?
Tacos,
Okay. Chicken or ribs?
ribs,
Pancakes or waffles?
pancakes,
What is your favorite color, Anthony?
blue.
What is your favorite Netflix TV show or series?
It's called what is that show called? The Power.
Oh, okay. Power.
Power
I like
came, yeah, the Netflix let you click it and you click on it, it takes you over to the next stars or wherever that thing they took me to.
it. Yeah, that's my show too, no doubt. Here we go. Favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich up here, it is the corned beef and the pastrami together with coleslaw. And they
Mm,
put it on an onion roll and they grill it with the butter and my goodness gracious, with the Swiss
mm.
cheese, my brother.
Okay.
It's
Okay. That I
incredible.
like that.
Yeah, it's called
I like
Lou's. Lou's the best one around. You got to
say
check them
less.
out too if you like those.
Say less. I'm with you on that. If you had a choice to choose between three artists or three songs that you could listen to on repeat and never get tired of, who would those three artists or three songs be?
Oh well, the first of all, we would have to, if we're talking um if we're talking what I'm trying to say, if we're talking smooth jazz, I have to hear David Sanborn
Okay.
playing the horn. No question about that. That
Mm,
man, every time I drive, I put him on. And then I had to hear Al Jarreau, because Al
okay.
Jarreau, he's that talking about, and he be scatting and I thought that brother was just incredible.
Right.
Yvonne said, and I'm like, hey man. And then I unfortunately I bring it back to the song, and I sing it. You're gonna laugh at me, but it's a thousand miles. I'll walk 1,000 miles if I could buy.
That's quite different from the first two that you said. So
That's
yeah, that's a little
Vanessa
different.
Carlton. I told you. I
Right.
said it's
Right.
gonna be a little crazy. I told you that's
You
Vanessa
did. You
Carlton
did.
right now.
Okay. I like that. I respect it. If you had three people to take with you on a vacation, plus you, so it'd be a total of four. Who are the three people that you would take and where would you go? Now, doctor, you can pick family, friends, or celebrities, or a combination of all three.
Well, I just take my family, man, because there's nothing like my family. You know what I mean? My children and my wife,
Okay.
we gone, Doc. We going to Hawaii. There's nothing like Hawaii. It's beautiful. It's full of water, full of beauty, and it's natural beauty. Colors are everywhere, multiplicity of colors. It just lets you know that God is so generous that that's how I want to be. You know what I mean? I want to be generous like that, where there's multiplicity of everything you want to do, and it's there. You know what I mean? The beauty of it, the romance of it, the eye of it, it's all there. You know what I mean? From exhilarating rides in a Jeep to helicopter rides of the volcanoes. Man, what? It's just, that's
I
the
love
place you
that.
want to be, brother, with
I
your
love
family.
it.
Believe that.
Spades or dominoes?
Oh, dominoes, doc.
Okay, okay. Which sport would you play that you would absolutely suck
Say what?
in? Which sport would you play that you would absolutely like suck in, be bad?
Oh, hockey, ain't no question.
But you from Detroit. It snows up there all the time.
I told you, hockey, man, they be fighting all the time, and you got to skate on them little thin things. No, I've been in failed, hurt. No, no, it'd be terrible.
Okay. Favorite alcoholic drink?
The favorite would be what we call, it's that, I don't know the name of it. I think it's the I don't know what it's called, but it's whiskey. It's a whiskey
Mm-hmm.
bourbon brand that they
Mm-hmm.
put. I think it's the old whiskey. I can't think of his name, but the old fashioned, if that's what it's called, the old fashioned. And I'll tell you who does one, Eddie V's. They do an old fashioned with smoke wood on it, and they put it on a, I don't know, they cover it up, they light it up, and it comes smoke. And then they put the black cherry in there with the twist of the lemon. You've never had an
Ooh,
old fashioned like that. It smokes, but the flavor is amazing. And
okay.
then it's a barreled bourbon or whiskey that they use, and they've aged it for like 5 years. So they bring these barrels. It's incredible, my brother. If I smoked a cigar, that's what it'll be, a cigar in one of those. Believe that.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to
Bro,
Eddie V's when I get there for
bro,
sure. For
that's a
sure.
man's man drink.
I love that. Now the last rapid fire I have is dead or alive. Who would be four more dinner guests that you would like to have dinner with?
Oh wow. I would pull in straight up Elon Musk. I would
Mhm.
true enough pull him in. Uh-oh. I would pull him in, no doubt. I would
Okay.
pull in who else? Zuckerberg.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
pull in one of the singers who I love, Sade.
Okay.
She would have to be at the table talking to
Okay.
me, and I would pull in Magic Johnson because I would want to talk to him about what all the Jerry Bus teach him.
I love it. I love it, man. This has been a dope conversation, my man. Obviously, I knew it would be. Talking to you at media as Radio Row at the Super Bowl,
Bless
you
you,
was
man.
amazing there. Sitting down with my group, which is the BS3 network that
Yes,
I'm
sir.
affiliated with. Man, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Dr. Anthony Shannon. Obviously, listening to your early beginnings, your why was amazing. Coming from it, being able to get your degrees, being able to go to college, being able to join a fraternity, being able to write several books, being able to teach, being able to speak, being able to raise up leaders, and just continue to pay it forward with your knowledge and your passion and your love for being able to do what you do. It's such a pleasure to see. I want to be able to say thank you again for coming on to my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. And the last question, as it always is that is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, the job, or anything at all before we conclude?
The only thing I tell people, and I tell people this all the time, here's the deal: you get more on your way than you do when you start. So you got to
Mm,
get started. As Arthur Ashe says, you got to use what you got, start where you are, and do what you can. That's all. That's what I want you to do. Get up off the couch and get started. Peace.
I love it, baby. You take care. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and week. And you and I, my man, will definitely be in touch.
All right, man. Can't wait to see this.
Yes, indeed. I'm out.
Bless you, man.